So in my last video, I talked about the personal issues that United have with regards to the players. We discussed who should stay and who should go. Today, let's take a look at how United can act in the coming transfer windows. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir David Brailsford are already through the door, and Ineos have control over sporting matters. Whoever the sporting director is that comes through the door, he won't have much to do in this window, but he will have plenty to do in the summer of 2024 and beyond. So without further ado, let's get into it. In the summer, United should look to move on Rafael Varane and Victor Lindelof at any cost. If good offers come from Maguire, he should be sold as well and upgraded on. First, we need to find a suitable partner for Lisandro Martinez. The reason Varane and Martinez worked really well last year was because they complemented each other really well. Martinez was the more aggressive defender and Varane was the calmer, stay back and cover the gap kind of defender, and this partnership worked really well. But with Varane looking likely to leave in the summer, he's going to need to be upgraded. So let's find a partner to Lisandro Martinez. He's an aggressive, ball-playing, extremely technical centre-back. But his major problem is his lack of height. He's prone to losing aerial duels, so his ideal partner needs to be like Rafael Varane. Calm, less aggressive, more of a stay back and cover the space, and of course, win the aerial duels type of centre-back. The standout player who has been linked to United before is Jean-Claire Todibo of Nice. It is important to note that Nice are also owned by Ineos, and indeed looks very possible. Todibo is incredible on the ball. He stands at 6'3", really tall. He's a major physical presence. He's a very good box defender and a wide defender as well. He's an epitome of the modern centre-back. Todibo is not exactly the calmest of defenders, but he's not the most aggressive either. Sometimes he loses his temper, but he has a good balance, I would say. Todibo is a no-brainer for right centre-back. Next, cover for Lisandro Martinez. We've seen how much United struggle without him in this side. So a player who's efficient on the ball as well as defending his box, as well as stepping up into midfield is required. My recommendation for this role is David Hanko of Feyenoord. Hanko is very efficient on the ball, he's good at defending his box, but stepping up into midfield might be his problem. We haven't really seen him do that a lot, but with a bit of coaching, he might be able to achieve it. Hanko is an elite ball-playing defender. He's involved in all phases of play, even in the attacking. His defending is really good as well. And of course, he plays for Feyenoord, who play an expensive possession style, so he's going to slot right in. He wouldn't be as expensive as other options would be as well. Now, of course, with the way Ten Hag plays Luke Shaw, Hanko can cover left back as well, coming into the midfield or into the back line, inverting. The next position, of course, is right back. Like I said in the last video, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not good enough, and so he should leave, and a good technical fullback must replace him. I have my eyes on another former Eredivisie player, Noussair Mazraoui. Mazraoui doesn't really play for Bayern Munich. I'm sure he'd be eager to leave. Ever since his move from Ajax, he hasn't really played a lot for Bayern Munich. Mazraoui's standout abilities are in possession. For Ten Hag at Ajax, he played efficiently as an inverted fullback. We see this tactic sometimes with Dalot or Wan-Bissaka. Mazraoui is elite in possession and very adequate out of possession. I think a reunion with Erik Ten Hag will be on the cards. The next position is the 6. The Moto 6 needs to be good in possession, be able to move the ball side to side and as well as forward. They would also need to be defensively solid and shield the back line. We're going to Feyenoord again, looking at a very interesting young midfielder in Mats Wijfer. Wijfer holds the fort for Feyenoord and played alongside the more adventurous Orkun Kokcu in Feyenoord's title-winning campaign last season. A strong aerial presence, a good tackler, a duel specialist. All of these words describe Wijfer. He's also undeniably amazing in possession. His ability to win the ball back and move it on to create chances is second to none. He's quite young as well, at just 24 years of age. He'd be a really good signing. With him in the 6, Manu can move up to the 8 position and be the Frankie de Jong of United. I think that is his permanent position. Wijfer should be signed quick before he's pushed by another side like Liverpool or even Arsenal, who are in desperate need of midfielders. The trio in midfield would be Wijfer, Manu and Fernandes. It works really well with Manu and Wijfer. They can play in a double pivot together, they can play one ahead, one staying behind. Both have the technical ability and defensive solidity to play there. They're also calm, collected players on the ball. This would make up for Bruno's more erratic nature on the ball. It would be a good midfield trio, but what about a backup to Wijfer? Or perhaps even a rotation option for Kobbie Mainoo as well. Someone who can cover the 6 and the 8. I'd be looking at Ederson from Atalanta. Not quite a holding midfielder, but would be very good in midfield pivot. He'd be a good rotation option for both Mainoo and Wijfer. Ederson is really good on the ball. He's not fantastic like you would say Mainoo and Wijfer are, but he's decent enough. He has been described as a segundo volante, a player who can carry the ball up the pitch from the defense to the attack. He'd be really good for that 8 role. He could be a good backup for the 6 as well. My question regarding the signing would be if he's fit for a single pivot role or if he's exclusively supposed to play in a double pivot. Either way, he's only 24, so he'd be a good signing if he can adapt his game to be more versatile. We are of course assuming that McTominay, Casemiro and Eriksen all leave the club. This leaves the midfield depth as follows. In the 6, they'd have Vifer and Ederson. In the left 8, they'd have Menu, Mount, and Ederson. In the right 8/10 role, they'd have Bruno, Mason Mount, even an outside shout, Isaac Cantonaro. Reports are coming out stating that contract negotiations between United and Isaac Cantonaro are going smoothly. Good news for United fans. Let's move on to the attack. We're going to start at centre forward. It's a position United have been lacking for a while. Højlund is too young and too raw to be playing week in week out with the heavy expectations of carrying United's attacks. United need a more experienced striker to come in and allow Højlund to develop and refine his game without the immense pressure and expectation. Maybe Taremi would be a good option. Taremi is a senior striker currently leading the line for Porto. Taremi is very much in the mold of Harry Kane, a striker who can score as well as create, a complete forward. If Taremi comes in, he will lead the line predominantly in some games and eventually be replaced by Højlund. Taremi will not only score goals, he will also facilitate for the attacking players around him as well. Rashford and Garnacho will be really good with the profile of Taremi. He would be a very good addition. He's not long term, but he would allow Højlund to develop his game while also providing goals and assists himself. Next up, of course, is right wing. Antony should be sold by any means. He's not at all a player fit for this level. With Antony leaving, United would just have Amad Diallo at right wing. Garnacho has been performing really well there, but then that leaves the left wing exposed. Rashford would be the only left winger at the club if Garnacho moves on permanently to the right. But lately, we've seen Garnacho perform really well from the right wing. His best performances in United's shirt, I would say, have come from the right wing. Is it perhaps his long-term position? If so, then it's a backup or rotation option for Rashford that's needed. The player you've all heard of over the last few months, no doubt, is Nico Williams. But he just signed a new contract at Bilbao. With their Basque-only policy, it would be incredibly hard to prize off their prized possession. They will demand a huge fee even if they are to sell him. And with FFP, given the signings we've recommended above, I don't really think United would go all out for a left winger. Garnacho can cover there, Mount can cover there, so solutions might be found from within the squad. So there are some of my take on how to fix Man United. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, of course. Do hit the subscribe button if you like my content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.